All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today I'm back with another video here. Really good, solid win for the Flyers tonight. Again, two in a row. They clean up the kind of just bad game in San Jose. I guess is probably the best way for me to explain it. Um, Really, really solid game tonight. I'm honestly really happy with how it went. And I think more of the, process these past couple of games has been good. I mean, look, the Flyers have been in every game that they've played in. There's been a lot of games where they've kind of not really dipped, but they've been in every game at least at some point. Like if it's been like they've needed points or excuse me, not points, but plays on the power play, stuff like that. Like they've had really good efforts in games. And when you had a bad effort against San Jose, this is your second back to back. And now you win both games of this back to back. In Anaheim last night 6-3, LA tonight 4-2. Last night was a lot of offense. Tonight was defense. I saw some stuff on Twitter about the second period, and like everyone's saying, oh well, they defended a lot. I'm like, yeah, they have, but they've scored when they've had their chances. Like I didn't think it was a horrible second period. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing it differently, or maybe there's stuff I missed. I don't really know. I didn't think the Kings had anything really that threatening, to be honest, in that period, and really for most of the game. Like, yeah, Petersen had to make some big saves at times, but for the most part, it was pretty even. As for kind of where the team's at now, obviously 7-1. Morgan Frost with 2 goals in this game. Cal Petersen with a really good game. Really solid game tonight, man. I mean, just a lot of good things. I mean, first of all, you go from a little bit of a change in the lineup. No Hart, the kind of like last minute type of thing, I guess. Still sick. So again, Petersen in net. Again, I'm perfectly. I am not going to sit here and say, and look, everybody was saying the same thing to me about Petersen. The same thing that I said about Frost is the same thing I said about Petersen. Give him a couple games, and look, he had a really good game tonight. Like everyone's like, oh, he's terrible. He played one game, and that's how it's going to be all year. That's just what it's going to be with Petersen. As for Frost, who 2 goals in this game, he's my flyer of the night. Obviously, really solid game. I mean, you could tell how pumped he was to just get on the board and then get the second one. He gets rewarded, man. I mean, I thought he was really bad last night in Anaheim. Had a couple turnovers, had a penalty. Just didn't look like himself. Obviously, again, he's been in and out of the lineup, but it hasn't helped. And he gets rewarded, man. I mean, 2 goals. It's just stuff you love to see. I mean, he's a guy who genuinely you can tell he likes playing here. It hasn't been great. Didn't request for a trade, as we know publicly. I definitely would have gotten out, or they, definitely looked at stuff. I'm sure, but again, it's just when you look at what he's kind of come from, this is the type of night where like, hell yeah, like this guy, he deserves it. I mean, he's battled through it. He stayed positive as possible. He said it. He said hockey's kind of like a weird way where you get chances like that. And I mean, he set up guys left and right in Buffalo. The last watch party, the 5-1 win in Buffalo. He set up guys left and right. He had chances. He set up a couple chances for connecting, for Forrester. Like they've had chances too, and unfortunately, none of them really went in that night for that line. But I mean, well, connecting did score, but Frost didn't really get any points or anything like that. Is what I'm trying to say. And I know everybody looks at points and stuff like that, but I mean, again, he's very creative. You see it. Just a lot of the little things he does. Like that second goal. I mean, he beats out Doughty in front of the net, gets his stick on it. Like it's things like that. I mean, he didn't have a great game last night. He was good in faceoffs. Outside of that, he wasn't great. At one point, he was like 9 for 11 in draws in Anaheim last night. So again, solid game for Frost and just a good game for the Flyers overall. Good team win last night. Like I said, a lot of defensive, or excuse me, a lot of offense last night, a lot of defense tonight. I thought they were really good, solid, sound defensively tonight. I thought this was a loss, honestly, going in. I thought this was one of those scheduled losses. I wasn't feeling. I don't know. I just like the Kings. Again, you just played them. They're 7-1-2 in their last 10 coming into this one. They're not great at home. All of their losses have come at home, and they're 7-0 on the road. But they are very speedy, and you saw that early in this game. Before I get into the first period, though, let me get into the lines. Atkinson, Coots, Forrester, Tippett, Frost, Konechny, Farabee, Cates, and Lawton, Delorier, Paling, and Hathaway, York, and Sanheim, Sealer, and Walker, and then Belpedio and Mete. So Mete comes in, again, Petersen in net. Paling comes in, and Bobby Brink comes out for a game. I wasn't a huge fan of that, but I thought Paling had some good moments tonight. Again, it's a back-to-back, and they got a couple of days off. If you're resting a guy for that, then that's fine. I hope he's not banged up. Hope that's not part of it. That there wasn't any mention of that. I don't know if they're maybe keeping that quiet or anything like that, but it doesn't seem like it. Again, first period, Paling had a turnover early. Outside of that turnover, I actually thought he had a solid game after that. Petersen, a nice save, kind of squeaked behind him, though. Recovered, thankfully. I thought it was a pretty boring game. I mean, the Kings had the first, I believe, five of the six first shots in this one. Lawton had a chance for the Flyers, couldn't really get a shot off, and then Tippett would score. Flyers, I thought in the first couple of minutes, they couldn't adjust to LA speed. The Kings have a lot of layers in their just overall game. Like on the forecheck and on D, you saw it a lot. Like there was a lot of plays, especially on the forecheck, where they'd have a guy attack and then someone would come in from behind, or like you'd see it throughout the game. And early in the first period, it was very evident. And there were moments in the game in Philly where it kind of happened too, especially on D. And now when you look at it tonight, I mean, you saw it a lot on offense. And as for that, if the Flyers adjusted to it, I mean, Petersen made some saves early. You get the goal from Tippett, who's got 3 goals in his last 2 games now. Breakaway goal, just slipped in over the line. Really nice play, and Flyers have a 1-0 lead there. Then they get a power play. It was a hold on Walker. I didn't love that call, but it happens. They kill that one off. Goes into the second period. Petersen had a nice save on Kempe in tight. Again, he's made some really nice saves. I mean, that one with the pad there. Lawton had a chance in tight for the Flyers going the other way, and then Frost gets the goal, 2-0. Deflection. Can't even talk. Deflection goes in. Look, I mean, again, like I said, sets up guys left and right, gets rewarded from the hockey gods. 2-0. His first of the season. Now we need Tyson Forrester to get one, because Forrester made a really nice play later in this game. I'll talk about that in a minute. So 2-0 Flyers there. They were kind of stuck in their own zone a little bit. I thought the third pair with Belpedio and Mete, it was kind of rough at times. Felt like earlier in the game they were stuck in their own zone. But as the game went on, you could notice, like, Belpedio, I think, has really played well. Like, he's come in, he's done what he's supposed to do, right? I mean, he's a depth guy. He comes in, he's got a couple of goals, scores in Anaheim, scored in Buffalo. And he's just played solid on D. Like he's making smart plays. Yeah, it's not as he doesn't play a flashy game or anything like that, but he's doing his job. And for Mente, who comes in, he just had a kid. Congratulations to them, by the way. And it really just comes in first NHL game in a good bit of time, and I thought he was okay. Like early, it was a little rough, but as the game went on, I thought that pair was pretty good. York and Sanheim, I thought, had a good game. It was really hard for me to, like, up until the third, or really, honestly, up until the second Frost goal, because it was just like, all right, this guy's just taking over now. I was kind of struggling a little bit to find a Flyer of the night, and I'm like, I wanted to go with Petersen, but I'm like, I don't want to go with 2 goalies, you know what I mean? Because I picked PETERSEN last night, and again, it's not. I want to clarify that a little bit, because it's not like the best player from the game, right? It's just the guy that I noticed throughout the night. Frost was that guy. Like he made a lot of good plays outside of the 2 goals. He gets rewarded, like I said. So that's kind of the whole idea behind it. Flyers do get a power play here. Sealer got high stick. They're 0 for their last 23. Make that 0 for 24 now, as there was another power play that they got later in the game with around a couple minutes left. It was a double minor high stick. So that one they ended up getting killed off. So 0 for their last 24. Couple changes with the units again. Coots was added to it. They used Walker again. Frost was on it. No Brink, obviously, because he wasn't in the lineup. Farabee was in net front at times, and part of the problem with the power play is they don't have an option in the bumper, and it's not that they don't even have an option. It's like they don't even put someone there consistently. Like tonight, it was Tippett. 2 games ago, it was Cates. Like, what are we doing here? Like they had Frost in front of the net the other night. I forget which game it was, but Frost was net front. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, put the same unit out there each game, and it doesn't help that you can't do that because you're taking Frost out one night, Paling's out another night, and that affects somebody else. The D's been changing too. I mean, you've had a little bit of injury, kind of. Thankfully, they've been healthy for the most part. They've been healthy this year. Knock on wood. But as for the power play and all that, like you're seeing changes with that just about every game. That's part of why they can't get set up. Like they mentioned Atkinson tonight, who has 8 goals. Yeah, they're all even strength. Well, obviously, I mean, your power play is doing nothing. So, I mean, obviously Atkinson's a scorer, and he ends up adding one here in the third period. Frost would make it 3-0. Again, beautiful play. Gets in inside position on Doughty, gets the stick out, tip. Man, it's so nice to see someone like that. And for Frost, he's right now he's my favorite player. He's one of those guys that I obviously root for and I want to see succeed. So really nice to see that. Grunstrom would get one here. And again, for Petersen, I talked about this with Bill Meltzer on Flyers warm up. Again, the pregame podcast we do before pretty much every Flyers game. There have been some games we haven't been able to do it with schedules and everything, but for the most part, every game. And again, we obviously give updates and stuff for that. But anyway, I digress. Petersen, he gave up the 3-1 goal. It's definitely one I think he could have had, but it happens. Like he made a lot of good saves tonight. He had a good game. He gets his win against his former team. It's things you want to see. And again, he made some big saves for the Flyers in this game. Couple scramble plays in the third period. The Kings had their chances. They had a lot of shots. Again, like I said, as the game went on, the Kings, they piled up shots, but I didn't think a lot of this was like too crazy. I thought the Flyers were really good on D tonight, and it led to a lot of different things. I mean, Petersen with 35 saves on 37 shots total. Again, a really solid game for him. The Flyers with 20 block shots tonight as well. It's things like that again, solid D, a lot of block shots. Flyers have blocked. I mean, they're going to block a lot of shots because that's the system, right? Like that's what Torts does. You know what I mean? It's things like that, but you're seeing it. They've been able to create more offense recently, which has been good. Like they've been scoring. They had a tough game in San Jose. They kind of come out of that, and in the third period, Belpedio had a really nice hip check. Oh my God, that was like textbook great play. Atkinson 4-1. What a play by Forster. I mean, and it's things like that I want to see Forster do. Like, even if he's not scoring, get involved. And that's exactly what that is. He gets involved in the forecheck, makes the play. They send it in front for Atkinson, 4-1 Flyers. Kempe would score to make it 4-2. Kind of loose on D there. No one really picked up Kempe going in the net. It's a tough play. I think it was passed by Byfield. And if it was, it's a gorgeous pass. But again, overall, a really solid win tonight. Again, like I said, you come out of San Jose where you had a really really poor performance. Let's just be honest. Like a really poor performance against the worst team in the league that get their first win against you. And then you get 2 really solid wins in Anaheim and LA in a back-to-back. Like it's a difference between this year's team and last year's team where like if something went bad last year, it was just like, here we go again. And then it would go for a couple of games and then they get a win and stuff like that. They haven't been doing that this year. They've been in every single game they've played so far. Through the 15 games that this team's played, they've been in every single one. You love to see it. Thanks everybody again for all the support as always tonight on the watch party. It was a lot of fun. Again, I do a bunch of these kind of mixed in throughout the year. So stay tuned for more of those. And the next one is Black Friday, 1:00. Flyers taking on the Rangers. Should be a lot of fun for that one. Yeah, got the new pod, Four Fly Guys coming. Should be new episode or first episode actually coming this week. And yeah, thanks everybody again for all the support as always. Make sure to check out Maher Media for all your Flyers updates. And I'll talk to you guys all again soon.